What's up everyone, how's it going? Welcome to today's market analysis and trade recap video. This is going to be more of a hybrid session simply because we are going to be doing both pre-week and market analysis today. I I'm taking a little bit of I'm taking a bit slower in December simply because of the large amount of holidays that we have. It's not a moment where I would really like to scale in simply because there's a lot of holidays. Hold on, let me just fix my charts real quick. There we go. Alright, 1 second. Alright, perfect. So we're simply going to go over everything that's needed to be discussed for this week and simply analyze today's price action movement as well as see if there's any trades that we could have taken and essentially backtest today's day, see if there's anything new that we could have found, continue testing our spoofing model, and see how that can yield in returns in the future. Essentially, our year is over. I'm not expecting us to get much more trades done, right? I mean, of course, we have this week, which, by the way, is filled with news. I'm pretty sure we have CPI tomorrow. Let's see. Today we don't really have much Canadian CPI, nothing crazy. Oh yeah, tomorrow we have NFP, and Thursday we have CPI. Yeah, so today's quite a hectic week. Tuesday and Thursday are going to be filled with, not necessarily filled, but they're going to be high volatility days, especially right around that time of news. Wednesday might be calm, Friday might also be calm, but I mean, let's take a look how many trading days you got left. One, two, let's go 22nd. 3, 4, and there's that. 24th, Christmas Eve. A lot of people are going to be taking off lower volume, and there's going to be lower volume this entire week. These 2 weeks, volume is typically a lot lower than it was pre-December. That's why right when it starts to get into December, price action can shift a little bit, and that's basic economics, right? Especially last 2 weeks. Low volume, people are off on the week. Same reason on the next week. Starting on the 5th, once again, things will start to rise up and we'll start to get normal volume and volatility coming upon January. So, in reality, we only really have 2 decent trading days, perhaps 5 total when we look at all of this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, literally 5 trading days that we might be able to get good volume and volatility on. That being said, on non-optimal days, optimal trades can still be made. I'm not throwing off that assumption, but is it really worth for me to get more evaluations and lose that timing aspect to pass those evaluations, especially when we're restricted on time for the next 2 to 3 weeks as the year concludes? Not really. So, with that being said, we're still going to be active every single day looking for opportunities, see what we can take, but we're simply just going to see and focus on analyzing how the market's reacting recently and take more of a fundamental approach on the market, try to learn more about what we're trading, more about order flow, and take December as more of a time to continue learning as compared to actively trading. So, with that being said, let's get straight into this, right? So, I mean, we've already gone over the news. Let's just chart this stuff out. Now I'm gonna pull out that vertical line just so we can see when the market opened. 8:30, so right before this, right there. I'll really classify that as liquidity. We'll put that there. Okay. Let's go on the 4 hour and see if there's anything that we can mark out. Use volume to our favor as well. Definitely liquidity level up there and lower liquidity down here in terms of the chart. And we're gonna mark higher things out because we're doing the entire week as well. And we'll work on the volume profile and VIX as well. I don't know if I have time to analyze NQ at the moment. I gotta go somewhere really, really soon, but I'm fitting in this video, making sure I get this video in. Uh, Highs there, like that, like such. And we can mark all of this quite redundant, but we're gonna go ahead and do it anyways. And mark out these lows. And yeah, I mean, next step from here is simply to mark out that volume, handy dandy volume profile. So first started off with just started this week. So right when Sunday opened, we'll hop into the 1 hour just so we can get a bit more precise on there. And what we see is that volume is hovering around this region. I forgot to put this there. Volume's hovering around the top. Yeah, it's really not going to do much for us. Mark at the recent range that we've been trading in. And within that, we do see that there's volume here. So potentially that could be a magnet. But again, not too much information there. So now we'll extend it to the range prior to that, which would be down here. And here we see a clear observation that this entire region contains lots of volume. So on a higher time frame perspective, I wouldn't expect any major price moves or maybe even really crazy trendy price action until this range is broken out of. If we break below these liquidity levels, we might drop hardly until maybe this level, more likely down to these lower liquidity levels. Yeah, I mean, that's what I'm noticing with this range. Now, we'll go ahead and continue marking this out. This does give us the most information, though, on a higher time frame perspective. So, honestly, our predictable outcomes can come straight from that. I would say that if we break below this region and don't fake it out, we should, okay, hold on. We should head all the way down there, like such. Mark this good handy dandy purple, this handy dandy white. If not, this is where we extend, and this is where that utilization comes from. Yeah, I mean, there's a clear pattern there, right? And this upper liquidity level stands around that point where the volume starts to decay as well. So, I mean, if we do head up here, I want to see if we can break through all of this, and if we break through all of this, then we can see that happen. But I'm much more confident in the shorts coming in, especially at the time that we're at right now, simply because we've saw this selling occur, we've broken through that region, we're rebalancing up. Depending on how we react here, we could take shorts. And that also does provide a good place to start with today's analysis, but essentially this is really going to be my predictable outcomes. I mean, I could use a footprint, but I don't think it's going to play that big of a role, especially with the volume profile doing a lot of that noise clearance that we really require. We're not even marking out any supplier and demand zones. I mean, you can go ahead and do that. Of course there's a supply zone there. I'm not even gonna like highlight them. I mean, pardon me, mark them. Or what's the word for like? I'm not really gonna define them or the time frame. I mean, this is really the range that we gotta worry about the most, and maybe might be able to mark that. But essentially, we're seeing they don't add much value. They're more so entry. They're more so for entries. So there's no reason to have them on at the moment, at least. Alright, so That's basically this. Now, let's go quickly look at the VIX. And we're seeing that VIX is coming back into this lower region that we've marked out. And this lower region has historically been a region where price has tended to reject from. That being said, we are in a very high time frame. We simply hover around this range for a decent amount of time, but I'm not seeing that volatility has spiked up heavily. Typically, when we're around this region, that typically means that we are continuing to pump, right? I look for the tops when in terms of the pump, right? Mm, it's all very subjective to an extent, but essentially it being down here signals to me that price is a little bit overbought. That being said, it doesn't tell us that price is not going to continue to head higher. It's just signaling to me and giving me that confirmation that price is a little bit overbought, which could mean that if sells come in and if sells come in strong to rebalance the markets, we should be prepared in that extent. So that's what I'm getting from the VIX. With that being said, I don't want to make this video too long. We're just starting out the week. Didn't really get much here. We set up our pre-week outcomes. Now we'll quickly go ahead and analyze the session. We see that right away from market open, we start dropping quite heavily. So I'm looking to see if there's any retracements in which we can continue capture the short side, right? Early in the market, potentially 835, 840, maybe 9. Let's see. I mean, this is where the footprint order flow can really help in terms of precision entries and things of that nature. So very excited to see how this days plays out. And I mean, let's get straight into that. So right away, liquidity looks to be quite bare on ES, starting to grow. And I mean, look at how the order book looks right now, right? There's liquidity levels, but they're all hovering around 40 and 50. Like, it might be like that these weeks because market participants levels are not going to be as high for sure. So price is dropping. I'm not seeing any like levels for us to target though. We might just have to utilize icebergs and things of that nature. But right now we are coming up into this region potentially classified as a barrier. Uh, Coming back up at VWAP. This is 942. I mean, I'm not really seeing absorption. There's just a quick flush and then continuation towards the downside. Uh, let's see. That 6900 level doesn't seem to be a bad region. Sell icebergs are still there. CVD is still negative. Potentially a retracement could result in us heading down there. But it looks like we head down there by 9 a.m. Right on top. Yeah, I mean, not seeing anything. Liquidity is quite clustered now. Now we head down. 6895 might be a good region. What is that? 855. None of these liquidity levels are crazily significant. They're just looking to see if there's anything that really stands out to me. Like perhaps I may have traded some of these plays, but nothing is very high confluence for me yet. Big move up at 905. And we drop back down. I mean, we continue back down for quite a bit. I don't think there's any opportunity for us Potentially something there at 920-ish, but yeah, I mean, we're dropping heavily right upon market open. Oh, hold on. On the eve of the jobs report, the S&P 500 closed slightly lower. Broadcast saw its worst three-day drop since 2020. Oracle's multi-session sell-off reached almost 17%. A drop in crypto also kept riskier assets under control. Right now, we're at extreme fear in crypto. Which does seem to be a bit bearish. Wait, we just continue dropping. It's crazy. And then we reverse from that region. 6865. I mean, this lower region, 6860, is a nice area, but we never get down there. Now, this is interesting right here. Oops. We see price move up, down, down, but we never get to this level. And right now, I am seeing that liquidity is starting to form more significance. We're getting to those 200s, those hundreds. So there is starting to get more signal, may be a byproduct of what we're seeing right now. Oh wow, it's already 940. It looks like we're gonna head until VWAP. Looking to see if there's any sign of buyer absorption. Because right now, I mean, sell icebergs are still heavily negative. Nothing too crazy. At 10 a.m., we see a nice sell absorption there. Hover on that region, push down. Okay, what just happened there? Iceberg and Q buy. Iceberg and. Yeah, I mean, I'm looking through it, and I'm gonna be honest, I'm not really seeing anything that stands out to me. So for me today, it's like major big selling Monday, right? Right upon market open. There could be a chance that I would have taken some retracement shorts. That being said, nothing like fully stood out to me that I could say, oh yeah, for sure I can and slash or should have taken this. Nothing like that is showing up today. That being said, there are likely some plays within those retracements, potentially within these retracements too, where you see that absorption. But that's basically all for market analysis portion of today. I'm gonna classify this as a hybrid analysis video as well. With that being said, that's all I have here for today. If you have any questions, feel free to leave a comment down below or join the completely free Discord server. The link is in the description down below as well. Furthermore, if you want to check out the order flow tools which I'm using, including the Bookmap livestream and Addis Orderflow, one of our channel partners, those are linked in the description too. Both have lots of free functionality, so definitely recommend you guys to check it out. That being said, as always, do your own research. And yeah, I mean, I'll see you guys tomorrow then for the next market analysis and trade recap episode. So, I guess I'll see you guys. Hold on. I guess I'll see you guys then. Goodbye.